This sanctioning body president is not a disinterested party. As he's claiming, I'm not. He has business interests he clearly feels, in my opinion, are threatened by a shifting landscape in boxing. And I am a part of that shifting landscape. It ain't business as usual anymore, where these cancerous sanctioning body cells drain the life out of the sport year after year.
Kellerman is standing firm. Even while going head-to-head with the most influential figure in the WBC, he's made his position unmistakably clear. The era of alphabet soup belts is collapsing, and sanctioning bodies like the WBC are nothing but a poison slowly killing the sport. Kellerman isn't bluffing. He has decades of evidence. 25 years of documented history proving his stance is real and not influenced by anyone's paycheck. This isn't a simple media disagreement. It's a full-scale battle for boxing's future, and Kellerman is prepared to tear down the old power structure brick by brick. To understand why the WBC president is furious at a commentator, you need to follow the money specifically. The money he just watched slip through his fingers. Organizations like the WBC, WBA, and IBF depend on sanctioning fees to survive. Want their belt? Pay them a percentage of your purse. For generations, fighters reluctantly accepted it as the price of greatness. But after Terence Crawford defeated Canelo Alvarez, pocketed a $50 million purse, and announced he was done paying anybody's unnecessary tax, the entire system began to crack.
Mauricio, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize? Like, who the fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self. Ain't paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any of the other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit, the fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. Who you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioned bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanctioned bodies agree to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? The fuck? You can take the fucking belt. It's a trophy anyway.
Even after giving Crawford what they called a discount, down to roughly 0.6%. The WBC still sent him a bill for around $300,000. It's just for the privilege of keeping the green belt he'd already earned in the ring. Crawford's response became instantly iconic. No negotiating, no discussions, no compromise. He went public and basically said, "I'm not paying your nonsense." He treated the belt like a meaningless piece of decoration, daring them to come take it back themselves. For the WBC, this was a devastating hit. When the best fighter on the planet treats your championship like a souvenir, sends shockwaves through the whole sport, it tells fighters everywhere that the so-called kings of boxing have no real power. The WBC eventually stripped him of the title, but the damage was irreversible. Crawford had lit the spark of rebellion, and the flames were spreading.
Terence Crawford has been very successful in the ring. He has been a world champion for 12 or 13 years, multiple times with the WBO in super lightweight. He won the WBC super lightweight. Then he unified and became undisputed in welterweight against WBC champion, who was Spence, in a great, great fight. He petitioned to fight a final elimination bout in super welterweight against Madrimov and remain champion in welter. The WBC supported him. He did not comply with the rules. Then he moves up to super middle and makes the fight of the century, beats Canelo. makes $50 million or around that, the WBC absolutely is not going to charge 3% of such an amount. We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. And it is just regrettable. Not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route. No response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge, it's great. It's about greatness, and I'm relieved, to tell you the truth.
Max Kellerman didn't just break the news, he used Crawford's decision as the foundation for a deeper philosophical strike against the very existence of sanctioning organizations. On his show, he went straight for the throat. He said these groups aren't guardians of boxing. They're parasites. A harsh comparison, but it fits. A parasite attaches to something healthy, drains it, weakens it, and contributes nothing of value in return. That, according to Max, is exactly what these sanctioning bodies have become.
The one doing the critiquing is not a journalist. He's not a disinterested party. Disinterested, by the way, doesn't mean uninterested. They're conflated. Disinterested means you're neutral. You're an observer the way a scientist looks at data, right? They can't be rooting for one outcome or another. And this sanctioning body president is not a disinterested party. He, as he's claiming, I'm not. He has business interests he clearly feels, in my opinion, are threatened by a shifting landscape in boxing. And I am a part of that shifting landscape. It ain't business as usual anymore, where these cancerous sanctioning body cells drain the life out of the sport year after year. Finally, I want to say this. In terms of the thought that based on the identity of my employers, you have to take what I say with a grain of salt. You should. You should consider all these things. You should also judge what I'm saying based on the content of what I'm saying and the truthfulness of it.
Kellerman argued that decades ago, maybe boxing needed these organizations to provide structure. But today, they're just unnecessary toll collectors standing between the fighters, the real product, and the fans who pay to watch them. He emphasized that no one buys a ticket because of a belt. They buy tickets for fighters like Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. So why are millions of dollars being funneled to bureaucrats who never step inside the ring? Max declared that the old model where these groups quietly leech money while pretending to protect the sport is finished. And that one description, calling them cancerous, is what finally pushed Mauricio Sulaiman over the edge.
I said exactly what I'm saying now about Ring Magazine championships and the sanctioning body championships for the past 25 years. I have been employed by Ring Magazine for several months now, but I've been saying the same exact thing I'm saying now for 25 years.
Just pick up Ring Magazine and it says so inside. They list the real champions in each division, and people say, well, what gives the Ring, what gives Ring Magazine the legitimacy to rank champions? What about the sanctioning bodies? No, the sanctioning bodies have blown it a million ways.
You got receipts?
I got receipts
Let's get it.
posted on Twitter.
When Sulaiman heard Max's comments, he didn't respond with numbers, transparency, or facts. Instead, he attacked Max's character. In an interview with Fight Hype, Sulaiman smirked through the criticism, but couldn't hide his irritation. He insisted Max's sudden hostility toward the WBC wasn't real, according to him. Max Kellerman's attitude changed only because he now works for the Ring Magazine, which is owned by the Saudi Arabian General Entertainment Authority led by His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh.
Max Kellerman spoke with Mr. Khan earlier today in an interview, and they spoke about
please. No, please, I will not comment because that is a scripted commentary. The WBC does not have outlets. They own that outlet, so they can script. And it is so embarrassing how low Max Kellerman, Mike Coppinger, they have gone so low because they do represent the publication. So it is scripted. It's biased completely. So I don't like to comment on that.
Okay. Well,
you are doing an interview. This is not biased. I am answering every single question.
Absolutely.
And I don't owe anything to you. You don't owe anything to me. You ask, I respond. But to talk about a program that is scripted, absolutely not.
Sulaiman's story is simple. Turki Alalshik wants to destroy the traditional sanctioning bodies and build his own elite league. And Max Kellerman is supposedly being used as his spokesperson. By claiming Max is reading from a script, Sulaiman tries to make the public believe Max isn't speaking from experience. He's just reciting lines to satisfy a billionaire. It's a clever tactic because it completely dodges the real criticism and aims directly at the messenger. But Sulaiman made one major mistake. He picked a fight with a man who values language, precision, and truth more than anyone else working in boxing media.
Okay, well, what about the Muhammad Ali Act? They spoke about just it being having an option for the fighter to go a different direction, and they still nothing's going to change. They're just going to add an option where you can fight for another company. You don't have to just stay with the Muhammad Ali Act.
That is not true. That is not true. Fighters have options. They can sign with Golden Boy, with Top Rank, with the Iron Tiger, with Queensberry, with Matchroom, with John Doe. Those are the options, and Muhammad Ali Act helps them to have representation, a manager to sit down and negotiate and know the financials of every event. And the Muhammad Ali Act prevents the promoters from having a abuse of power, controlling a fighter, controlling the rankings, controlling a title. The WBC has to disclose many things to the authorities in the United States on every fight, on the rankings every month. It is a big cloud that should be analyzed and put openly, because they're very smart on trying to say they're very smart and everybody's not as they are. It is a very controversial thing that should not be taken lightly.